Hey everybody, this is Nils. Now you can hear me. I forgot to turn the volume on, the mic on. Welcome to the YouTube channel. You can see I did a little bit of changes to the layout here. I've got my little scroller down there. I love playing around with the tools that you can use to do these live videos and things, because there's lots of fun stuff. And so thought I'd try that little scroller and stuff like that. So I have been working on all that kind of stuff and getting things laid out and things like that. And so, but today the topic is really going to be, probably going to be kind of a short one. It's kind of freezing cold here in my garage, and I don't want to spend too much time. So I'm going to really talk about a lot of the questions that I get. So I get a lot of questions, whether I'm talking to people individually or I'm doing coaching for product managers, or there are questions that come up, and they're not always directly to me, but sometimes on the various product management message boards and things like that. And so I really like to answer those. I answer them often in the message boards or directly when I'm doing coaching, of course. But I thought I would share a couple of the questions that I get, and then particularly focus on one particular question that I think is kind of interesting. And it is fundamental to what we do really as product managers. So let me go over to the slideshow here. And what happens is, I get all these questions, and here's just a selection of them. How do you use job stories exactly? What about doing prioritization? Do you have a single impact scale? These are all very interesting questions. I might answer them in the future, but I just wanted to share some of the things that come up all the time. And these are just a very small subset of all the questions that come up. But the question that people ask me a lot, and that I want to talk about tonight briefly, because I think there's a really simple and clean answer to this question, is, people come and they say, I've got this product idea. Can I tell you about it? And you let me know what you think of it. And so, of course, I always say sure, because I'm a very open person and I like sharing and giving feedback. And so what I hear is, let me tell you about it. The description they give me is it's a technical thing for some group of people. Typically, 180% of the time, it's a project management related thing, unfortunately. But what I always do is I want to ask them 5 questions, and I'll go through the 5 questions in a minute. And the answers to those questions are the things that tell me if this is a good idea, something that's worth spending resources to work on or to build or something like that. So if you remember what we do as product managers, right? And this is the fundamental framework that I use in the book, the Secret Product Manager Handbook, and it's also the fundamental framework that I talk about all the time on my website, secretpmhandbook.com. And that is that we, as product managers, our big role in life is to find market problems, to create or drive the creation of solutions to those market problems, and then to take those solutions to market. Essentially, those are the 3 big components of what we do as product managers. Now, there's a lot of nuances and subtlety to all of these things, and some of them are more individual level work that we do, like going out to the market and finding market problems, although we have lots of partners in that as well. Creating the solution, of course, is something that we do with our development team. And then, of course, going to market, we don't sell it. We don't even necessarily do the marketing, but we inform all the stuff that goes on there. So those are the fundamental things that we do as product managers, of course. So those, if you think about those, they really then drive some questions that you want to ask if you are thinking about doing something new. And so I have 5 questions that essentially encompass the things that we should know the answers to before we set off on trying to create a new solution. And that might be a new product. It might be a new feature within an existing product. It might be a service that we're offering. Whatever it might be, it's putting some effort and resources into something that we think is going to be valuable to the market. And so how do we figure that out? Well, the 5 questions I always ask are, and I'm having that problem again with PowerPoint. Let me do this again. I am going to turn this off. No, what am I going to do? I'm going to exit this, and I'm going to start it up again. So for some reason, PowerPoint is having this problem. This, I believe, is actually a PowerPoint problem that I keep having. So let me go back Okay, there we go. So there's 5 questions that I ask, and let's see if we can get to the 5 questions. The first question is, who is this product for? Now, if you're thinking about making a new feature, you should have a good sense, or a new product, you should have a good sense of who this product is for. Who's going to buy it? Who are the people that are going to have money and have the problem that you're going to solve? So who is this product for? What's the segment? Very important, because it's very easy to think about a product that, well, everybody will want, but you can't sell to everybody. We all know this. You have to sell to specific people, and you have to be able to talk to them in specific ways in order to make them think that you have a solution. So the next question, you could flip these really, but why do they want this thing? What is it that they are suffering from that makes them need something different from what they have? What problem does it solve? What need does it address that is currently unaddressed? What desire does it address? What opportunity does it enable them to reach out for and to achieve that they can't do already? Or how does it do it? How does it enable them to reach out for that opportunity more easily, faster, more effectively? Likewise for problems. All those questions. And then you have to also ask, well, they must be doing something about that thing today, right? If it's a business problem that that you're thinking of addressing, they must have some way that they're addressing it already. Is it a piece of paper? Is it another piece of software? Is it by having lots of meetings or lots of phone calls or having a spreadsheet? So there are all these questions that you need to ask. How are they solving these problems today, or this problem today? And then you have to say, what is wrong with what they're doing today? Why might they even consider a different solution? You know, a lot of times people think, well, I'm going to create another project management software because I know this one little thing that project management tools don't do, and I think they should do, and I'm going to create a solution that does that. But is that enough to get people to change? And really the final question there is, why is your solution better than the alternatives, than what they're currently using or other alternatives? And then you go back to, I've talked in the past about what I call the value inequality. Why is what you're offering to them so much more valuable than what they're currently using that it's worth paying the difference between what they're currently using? And so it might be that if they're already using a product, that means to start using yours, they have to stop paying for the product they may have already paid for, and start paying for yours. Well, that means you have to be providing a huge amount of additional value than what they're already getting. Now, on the other hand, if they're using a spreadsheet, which is essentially free in most businesses, then why is your product worth the cost of change, and how much additional value are you delivering versus what they're currently using? So these are the 5 questions that I like to ask about any new product idea that people bring to me and share. Now, how do you make use of these ideas in your own work? Well, obviously, if you're working on a product that you're delivering, I hope you know the answers to these questions. If you don't know the answers to these questions, then that is probably a bit of a problem, right? If you can't answer who the product is for, or the feature, or whatever it is, why it's better than what they're currently using, why they would choose yours versus some other alternatives, if you can't answer those questions, that's a big problem for you as a product manager. And of course, even if you know the answers to those questions, if your salespeople can't answer those questions, or your marketing people can't answer those questions, that's also a big problem. So the point is that these are fundamental questions no matter whether you're currently working on a product that you have right now, or you're thinking about creating a new product. And one of the best ways to ensure that you can answer all of these questions in the right way is to make sure you go out into the market a lot and go find out what's going on with them and what they're suffering from, what their big problems are, as opposed to trying to think them up yourself in your own brain. Because realistically, when we're thinking about problems to solve with technology, we all become technologists, meaning that we think of we think of technical problems that can be solved. And of course, there's lots and lots of technical problems that can be solved. There's many more technical problems that can be solved than there are actual problems that people will pay for the solutions for. So you have to go out and find those problems that people will pay for the solutions for. There's actually two reasons. One is that there are more of these technical problems. The other is that we don't think of those business problems as technologists. We think of technical problems because we're really in solution. Anyway, I could go on and on about that. We have a hard time getting out of solution space as technologists. We kind of have a hard time getting out of the space of the things that we could do, as opposed to the things that need to be done. And the things that need to be done are problem space. And so the way that you can ensure that you have the right answers to these questions, just to reiterate, is to make sure that you spend a lot of time in problem space. And that means not in your own brain. That means going out and finding information from other folks in the market, from people that need to buy something or that are suffering from a problem. And that you go out and learn about those things and you elicit the problems that they may not even know at the moment that they have, but that by asking good questions and things you elicit. So anyway, that is a little bit of a rant on this whole question of, do you like my idea? It's always a funny question for people to ask. And so anyway, I thought that I would just share that answer. Hopefully you found this useful and interesting. I don't know if anybody is listening to the podcast or the video as I'm here. Hopefully you find it interesting if you take a look. And I will leave a comment if you like this type of thing. If you think this information is useful, leave a comment. Leave me a note. I can see the notes over there. What are those things? In the chat. If you left a chat, that'd be great. And anyway, until next week, or until I get another video up, this is Nels Davis, again, the author of the Secret Product Manager Handbook. Leave a comment, leave a note, and do whatever. And then we will, I'll be back next week and do another one. Okay, talk to you later. Bye-bye.